Very dramatic intro here to Taste of Country's Talking Country, our first ever ongoing, hopefully, series here, as we have some of our favorite people from tasteofcountry.com and all the radio stations hanging out, talking about things going on in the country world. I am Wood from Taste of Country Mornings with Wood and Nicole, and today I would love to talk about Gavin Adcock and Charley Crockett and this apparently ongoing feud in the world of country. And I'm joined by a fantastic crew here today, including Adison from tasteofcountry.com social media team.
Hey, I've got some spicy love drama that I'm bringing to us today. I'm posing the question. Riley Green has a new lady that is linked to a country star that they have toured together. So we're talking, what is bro code? I'm excited to dive in.
All right, Evan Paul.
Hello. Okay, so I recently interviewed Ashley Cook, and she told me about a tour gift that Luke Bryan gave her at the end, and I kind of want to see what everybody thinks about it.
All right, and of course, Billy Dukes from tasteofcountry.com.
CMA nominations awards are coming. CMA award nominations are coming very soon, I believe next week. Who is your entertainer of the year for 2025?
All right, so we got all that plus a little more. And you know what? I love trivia. And tonight, of course, is the start of the NFL football season. So I'm going to ask a trivia question here. You can weigh in the comments, try to guess the answer here. All right, here we go. Toby Keith recorded a country song with an NFL quarterback back in the day. Do you know what quarterback it is? So think on that. We'll get to that answer here in just a little bit. But of those topics, I'm sorry, we got to start with Adison here. Riley Green, what has he got going on right now?
Oh, what does he not have going on? The internet is loving him and his love life. They always do. But so the hot tea lately is Riley Green has been seen with this blonde girl. Fans have been sharing videos. I mean, extra stalking mode on their behalf, but I'm eating it up. And people were starting to notice, like, this girl looks so familiar. Why does she look familiar? Well, her name is Brianna Farringer, and she is actually Tucker Wetmore's ex. Now, when we think about this, I was like, these guys definitely overlap. And if this was in the female world, I don't know if I would be completely great with the gal that I, go on tour with, interact with in the industry, going on dates with my ex. So the question is, do you think, for me, do you think that Riley and Tucker talked to each other before Riley and Brianna went on a date? I don't know how serious this couple is. They might just be casual.
Could be hanging out. What do you think, Billy?
Well, yeah. So my question for y'all is, clearly I'm the only female on this panel today, and I want to know, is bro code? Do you think that they talked? I know that guys are wired so differently than girls.
I'm pumped. I'm in after Billy. Tag me in.
All right. 2 points that will circle around and make the same point. Riley Green, he's alpha. He's Kobe Bryant. He's not asking anybody who he can and cannot date. We've all been around him. He's smooth. He's suave. He's good looking. He's a nice guy. He's charming. He's definitely not asking. But the second point, and maybe this is a little bit more important, is there are a few things as sexist as this idea of the bro code and, hey, can I date your ex-girlfriend? The girl has a point of view here, fellas. Doesn't she ultimately get to decide who she's going to date? It's not like they're talking about which dog to get from the pound. No, absolutely not. The girl gets to decide, nor should he.
Well, here's the thing with guys, especially two alphas like Tucker and Riley. The one thing that I feel is that with guys like that, you don't need to ask. The thing is if I'm gonna, let's say it's me and Wood, that situation.
Go on.
I'm not gonna. If Wood asks me if I'm okay if he dated my ex, I'm as a alpha bro, I'm going yeah, dude. I was whatever, bro. I don't even know what was her last name again. And then that's just how it goes, because as bros, we don't want to show any of that emotion. We don't want to be like, oh man, I really loved her. Please, do you have her? And then also this girl leveled up. I mean, she's on the country music totem pole. Tucker, she got to Riley. Next up, it could be Zach Brown if his relationship with the billionaire fails.
Man, he's got a billionaire. He's doing all right. Zach's going to be all right. Yeah.
I will say, I actually do heavily agree with y'all on like Brianna's point of she can like she's captaining that ship. Like she's the one who can be like, yes, no. She's definitely a part to play here.
But here's my other thing. This one's got to work out. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't date a third country music star. Like this has got to be it. Either that or you got to start dating football players or something like that. She can't go date an insurance salesman after this. Like she got to get out of the country road.
She could go like to a Billy Ray Cyrus. It's kind of like a novelty date,
Okay.
No, I feel like third strike, you're out. Like you're going to be known in not a positive way.
That's what I'm saying.
Instead of cleat chasing, I don't know, guitar chasing, like
pick chasing.
Yeah, I don't know how that translates, but no, I do think like you're going to start getting a name around this town, and we all know country music is small. Like I hope this works out for them. I don't have high hopes. No offense to either one of them. It's just track record's not great, and I don't think it's going to last. But anyways, I digress.
All right, Billy Dukes, I'll give you the final word here.
Little bit of objection to calling Tucker Wetmore an alpha. He was a pole vaulter in track and field, I believe.
Yes, he was.
The 100-meter dash guys, those are the alpha. The pole vaulters are not. That's not an alpha position. He's a nice guy.
Is it because of the onesie?
In that pecking order. The onesie's not helping.
I will say our community, I'm looking in the live chat, they also agree that we are not thinking that any conversations going on between Riley and Tucker asking permission to date. So
no. All right. So Evan Paul, you always have guests in studio. First of all, who do you have in studio Friday night?
Okay, so this week we have Russell Dickerson on Taste of Country Nights on the radio show, which is heard across America. And then on our podcast, we have Chris Jansen this week.
Chris Jansen's always fun, so make sure you're checking that out. Make sure you're following along on all the Taste of Country social media channels. You're at least following one, finding your way here. But you were talking about, you always like to ask guests when they're in studio, what is something that you gotten from someone else when you open up for them? Because that's kind of a thing in music. I don't know if everyone knows that. You got a pretty unique answer.
Yeah, so real quick in country music, it's kind of a thing where the end of tour, the opener gets a gift from the big dog. It's, I've heard everything from Rolexes to Motorola razors, the drive things, not a shave.
Or the phone.
This was so funny. Ashley Cook said that at the end of the tour with Luke Bryan's tour manager came up to Ashley and was like, hey, why don't you come up on Luke Bryan's bus? We're all going to be hanging out. So then so she went and hung out with all the people, and then all of a sudden she said Luke Bryan came on the tour bus and just tossed her an envelope that was just packed with cash.
Yeah.
It's like, don't spend it all in one place now. Thank you for everything you did for me. So my question is this, of course the scale is a lot higher than all of our Christmases, but is this essentially an Amazon gift card? Like, I forgot to think about you, so I went to the ATM. Or are you super pumped that you got, I'm assuming, 10 G's cash from Luke Bryan?
I kind of straddle this. I'm fence sitting, and here's why. Because one, and I love Luke Bryan, so this is not a personal dig at him, but it reeks of lack of creativity. Like it makes me feel like, man, Luke didn't get to know me well enough to know things I enjoy or might want, because there's some artists that really are, what was it? Jason Aldean that gave Corey Kent a really sick watch. And like, Corey really likes watches, you know what I mean? It's just like, that was so personalized. But then on the flip side, at Christmas, sometimes my grandparents give me gifts that they spent a lot of money on, but you're going, I'm never going to use this. So the other side is like, if Luke Bryan gave me $10,000, I could spend it however I choose, where if he was going to give me a scooter, I'm not using a scooter, So I guess that didn't really answer, but I feel very much so in the middle. It depends on what he was going to get me.
So here's where I land on it. Cash is king. Cash will always be king in the world of things because no matter what, you can go buy whatever you want. If you want that four-wheeler, go buy it. Here's cash. And it's easy. You can also keep it out of the eyes of, Big Brother and everything like that. So to me, I would love a cash handout because you can turn it into whatever you want.
And Billy, did you have something to say about that real quick?
Well, I think that you're kind of changing maybe the game of the tour gift because you've asked this question and we've gotten some pretty high-end gifts, including Kenny Chesney and the sauna. Other people have done things that are really personal for an artist, and that's sort of making news not only on our site, beyond our site, as other outlets pick this up. So when you get to an artist like Luke Bryant handing an envelope of cash, unless it was like $10K, sort of a subtopic here is how much is the appropriate amount from Luke Bryant?
I didn't want to.
Is it $500?
Yeah.
I think it's okay. When you're an artist like him and the amount of money you're making on tour, like if it's under 10K, I think I might be offended.
Well, I mean, you are getting paid to be on the tour too. Like you're not just showing up out of the goodness of your heart. So you were getting paid. That's just a little bonus. If it's $10, man, I'll do whatever you want. I'll dance. I'll do whatever you need me to do, Luke Bryan. But he's not paying me. Before we move on and change the subject here, Evan Paul, what is the weirdest person, or what is like the weirdest gift any of these artists have given you? Like, what's one that stands out in your mind?
Probably would have to be the whole Kenny Chesney gave Megan Maroney a sauna for in her house because she detailed that she didn't know anything about it, and so Kenny like got into her house and had like a whole company like build a sauna custom, which I'm assuming takes a couple days. I mean,
yeah.
I haven't even been rebaffed my house yet. I have no idea, so, but I'm assuming there was a whole, so I think that was kind of the weirdest, but I've been kind of on this tip of asking that question, like Billy said, but there might be some other people that you hear asking it, but hey, this is where it came from.
Well, I'm sure you'll ask Chris Jansen Friday night. Make sure you're checking that out on Taste of Country. Make sure you're getting it on the podcast version, listening live. No matter what you can hear all those answers. For me, Billy Dukes, I'm going to need your help here because if you've not been paying attention in the world of country music lately, there seems to be like an ongoing feud here between Gavin Adcock. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. This all got started when Gavin Adcock was on stage and he made a comment about how Beyonce was above him in the charts. And he said, I'm coming for you because that's not real country music. That's how this all got started, correct?
That's accurate. The one thing I think to keep in mind is that it wasn't a chart of any sort of importance. He was fighting for the number 3 spot on the running iTunes album chart. And fighting for the number 1 spot on that is a little bit like starting the Boston Marathon, sprinting, having your buddy take a snapshot picture and saying, I led the Boston Marathon. That's how important it is for that fight. But that's what it was over. He was mad about Beyonce was ahead of him because in his mind, she shouldn't be country music.
And then this took another turn because then Charley Crockett, I don't know if it was in an interview or put it on social media, but he kind of called out Gavin Adcock and said that, man, this seems, for lack of a better term, kind of called him insecure about the whole thing, seems. At least that's how I read it, but I'm not smart, so.
He didn't point out or call out Gavin specifically. He just responded to more so to people who were upset with Beyonce, saying that really your anger comes from 25 years of bro country, and it's just sort of manifesting and pointing at Beyonce.
And he called out Morgan Wallen.
Yeah, he said Morgan Wallen admitted he doesn't listen to country all that much, and he said he didn't really have a big issue with that. He respected the honesty. Maybe that was a little bit of a backhanded stuff. Important to note here, Morgan Wallen, Gavin Adcock, same manager.
And that's what I was about to say, because I think they may even be on the same label. I'm maybe totally wrong on that, but they also cross paths a lot. And here's my thing. If somebody called out my friend, even in a backwards way, I would absolutely defend them. That's what friendship is. And then this kind of got nasty between those two. Charley Crockett kind of olive branch left them assigned because they were almost in town at the same time. It was like one night after each other, right? And Charley Crockett left an autographed album for him, and Gavin kind of made a post making fun of it a little bit, it seems.
Allegedly, he left that. We're taking Gavin Adcock's word for it.
Yeah,
I mean, no other evidence.
I don't know if this is Tupac and Biggie Part 2 or what. What I will say is that what Gavin Adcock has going for him is he is one of the only people in country right now that is embracing the shirtless all the time and chest hanging out all the time. That is in itself a vibe that country music needs more of. That's the Marlboro Man. That's the 90s Marlboro Miles. I got my Marlboro backpack. Like when you see Gavin Adcock, Morgan Wallen's not like that. We never see Morgan Wallen without his shirt off. They share the same manager, but they don't share the same marketing ideas. Gavin Adcock, shirtless all day. That is country with the chest hair and the mozzarella cheese.
Well, I'll be real with you, dude. I like the fact that Gavin Adcock speaks his mind. Now, do I agree with him all the time? Absolutely not. But in a day and age where we're kind of craving more authenticity, whatever word you want to throw around it, dude, again, somebody makes fun of, or he got, what was it, his guitar player's mom got into it with a sound guy from Nickelback. Gavin jumped off stage. Like, that's a bro
Chest
you
was
want.
hanging out. Chest was hanging out.
That's
Yes.
what I'm saying.
Yes.
I think that there's a way to be communicative and speak your mind without feeling like a bull in the china shop. And I think he just needs to be a little careful in the sense that the community world is like a family. And I think if he ruffles too many feathers, like in a bulldozing type of way, I'm not saying don't say your 2 cents.
You do run into a little bit of that danger where you kind of do too much too fast, and then you're almost viewed as a hothead type of thing. We've seen that kind of stuff.
So to use a wrestling word, Gavin Adcock is the heel, is he not?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
But here's the problem. He's not really accomplished a whole lot, right? He just released, and this is like all of this was sort of in line with the release of his debut album, which dropped a week and a half ago. I think it ended up debuting at number 3, ironically, on the country charts. Maybe it was number 2. I can't quite remember. He hasn't said too much since. I know he has one really good song that I really like. Can anybody name 2 or 3 more Gavin Adcock songs?
Exactly. So if like you're a Morgan Wallen doing this, it might come across slightly different of like, oh, you got some street cred like over years.
That's true. It is kind of tough when you are new in the game. I really like the album, so maybe I'm just a little biased in that part, but either way, you can read all about this story. Billy did a fantastic job breaking this down on tasteofcountry.com. Now, coming up, Billy, you're going to give us your best of the week, right? Looking ahead as well. We've got a lot of that to get to. And by the way, I haven't wished everyone a happy start of the NFL season today. By the way.
Oh, it is today.
Thank you very much. If you follow along Taste of Country social media channels, you may have seen my daughter trying to pick college football games with me by she guesses the mascot. She is awful at it, but she's cute as a button. Thank God. Her real dad has to be a real looker. But speaking of looking ahead to this weekend, I'm telling you, Billy said I get to pick 3 football games that everybody should be watching. College football, Oklahoma, Michigan is going to be a great one. I like that one. You also have the Lions and the Packers on Sunday, and I'm going to get to that question here at the bottom of the screen with one of those. And Sunday Night Football is fantastic. It's the Ravens and the Bills. That's going to be a fantastic game. But for you guys, let's start off with you, Evan. Who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl this year?
I'm going to go with the Eagles.
Oh, boo. Come on. All right, Billy Dukes.
You know, you'd think since I'm from Detroit, I would say your Lions. The Lions they're just not historically winners. So I think it's either going to be the Eagles or the Chiefs. I have no reason to think differently.
Now, Adison, you're a Texas girl. Are you going to go Cowboys?
Oh, heck no. That is one of those of like my brain doesn't even for a brief minute I was like, do I say the unthinkable? But I am not doing that. I'm going to say Chiefs.
Okay. I am a Cleveland Browns fan. So no, I'm not picking the Browns. I ain't stupid.
No way.
I'm going to go weird on you. I'm going to go with the Green Bay Packers. The Micah Parsons deal, I think, kind of puts them over the top. I think the Packers are going to surprise here a little bit. But before we get to the answer of the trivia question, coming up here, Billy Dukes, lay it down for us. What's the best of the week that was and looking ahead when it comes to the music?
Well, number 1 song this week, we have Shaboozie's Good News. 2 number 1 songs for Shaboozie. Number 1 album is Morgan Wallen's I'm the Problem. And the number 1 thing to look forward to this weekend, Carrie Underwood's new Sunday Night Football opener, ahead of that Ravens and Bills game.
You bet.
Wait, I
man.
have a question about that. Am I allowed to ask right now?
Yes, you raised your hand.
What is new? What are we doing with that? Like, what is new every time? Like, what do you mean? Is she changing a beat? Like,
I got your answer here. Every week she weaves something into the title or the lyrics. So like if it's in Buffalo, she'd be like, waiting all day for Sunday night, my Buffalo wings. And by the way, that's exactly what Carrie Underwood sounds like. And so every week she kind of weaves something in there and you're like, oh, kind of like when the artist is like, yo, thank you, Detroit. And you're like, oh my God, that's us.
Is that legit, or you're just saying hypothetically you think that's what's happening?
No, that's what happens every week. Yeah.
well, she must have recorded them all at one time and got the pay. And then,
yeah. I can extrapolate a little bit on what you're saying there, Evan. I mean, Carrie Underwood's thing looks familiar. What's new about any given football season, right? It's just grown men getting out there and bashing each other's heads in, slightly different events during the moment.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, it's all the same thing and real similar winners at the end. So what's new in life? You know, I mean, if we're going to go deep, let's go deep.
Sure. Okay.
Were you trying to talk me out of loving football or into loving football? Either way, it didn't work. But all right, we have our trivia question. And I asked you, Toby Keith recorded a song, and I'll give you the year now, back in 1996 with an NFL quarterback. Let's go around the room here. Billy thinks he knows, so you're going to go last, Billy Dukes. Evan Paul, you're up first. What is your guess?
Terry Bradshaw.
Okay. Addison, you have a guess?
Well, I don't even watch football. I was 2 years old when 1996 came out. I mean, when this, whatever. So I'm actually not going to go player, which then therefore I know that this is already going to be wrong. But he did dabble in singing. Jerry Jones. He's not a player, so I. But
Arkansas boy. Okay. And Billy Dukes, you believe you have the answer for which NFL quarterback Toby Keith recorded a song with back in 1996?
Well, he had a little bit of a fling with a country star around those years. I think Troy Aikman might have recorded with Toby Keith.
That is correct.
Yeah.
By the way, you didn't sound like they were dating. I don't think Toby Keith and Troy Aikman ever dated. Let's go ahead and get ahead of that one.
No. He dated Lori Morgan.
It did kind of sound like that. And I was like, I know that's not where he's headed with this, but that would be some spicy news.
The song was called Two Pair of Levi's and a Pair of Justin Boots. It was from a 1996 album called NFL Country, which was various country artists paired with NFL players to record songs. Wow. That has to be awful.
Yeah.
Awful.
They didn't like Travis. I mean, Jason Kelsey. They essentially did that same thing, but Christmas album, right?
Did they? I don't know.
Possibly.
Anyways, I'm just saying it doesn't surprise me.
Look out. Give some people some money and they'll just do their side. Yeah.
Never should have given you guys money.
That's right.
Give some love because Terry Bradshaw actually had country hits, I think in the 70s or 80s. Like he had top 10 hits. So,
and this was kind of like a sneaky question. I thought I was going to get at least one Terry Bradshaw. That was a good guess, Evan. So
that was a good guess.
I don't know. I didn't know that. I just kind of made it up.
Well, I think the first edition of Talkin Country went pretty well. What do you guys think?
Awful.
Fantastic.
I'm gonna give one of these. Room for improvement.
Absolutely.
Great, man.
I say we're warming up. We're warming up.
Yeah.
If there's anything we can improve on, please leave it in the comments. Yes, even if it is wood sucks. I know my wife tells me all the time, but that's okay. Thank y'all very much. Talkin Country every Thursday right here on Taste of Country Media's social channels. So I said that wrong.
Yeah.
We'll figure out the verbiage later.
That was close.